Where is Granddad going? Right. Hi guys, it's Amanda with Eat Pray Crunch, and I've got little Teo with me today because he is now 6 months old. How is that possible? You're 6 months old. Yeah. Yeah. He's even 6.5 months old now. I had to quick film this before he was 7 months old because in May he will be 7 months old. So the time is clearly just flying. I can't even believe it. 6 months has gone by. You still feel like my newborn, but you're not a newborn anymore. Lots has changed since his 4-month update. He is, as you can see, still a ginormous baby. Last time I weighed him a couple weeks ago, he was 21 pounds. So yeah, he has continued on the 99th percentile curve, pretty much all the way along, like 90th to 99th. He's a chunky monkey, and he's long. He's just built like a linebacker. I've said that before. But I've also said before, no football, huh? We care too much about that sweet little head. So yeah, he's just healthy as can be. And we have just had a bunch of major milestones in the last month or so. With his gross motor skills, he started flipping both ways, rolling both ways. And he even does that at night sometimes. He'll flip and sleep on his belly now, which I'm always like, once they can do it on their own, they can sleep on their belly, that's fine. Because he can get himself back over again and turn his head and all that. And he started sitting unaided all by himself. When he's on his belly, he actually scooches now. He tries, he's not like fully army crawling, but he's trying. He's a scoocher now. Are you a scoocher? Are you a scoocher? In terms of fine motor skills, he's definitely figuring out his hands. We are in the phase of everything going in the mouth right now, as you can see. Oh, and he likes to suck those 2 fingers, which is great. He gave up the binky, kind of like Sophie. He just never really got that into the pacifier, and so he sucks his 2 left fingers. That's definitely his thing. It's not a thumb, it's his 2 fingers. It's really pretty cute, and he's really good at self-soothing himself at night most of the time. Speaking of which, with all of the developmental leaps that he has had, and the fact that he started solids, and that kind of backed him up a little bit because his system is getting used to things. He had a week in there where sleep was god-awful. He was doing so well. He was sleeping a straight 13 hours at night. He was doing amazing. And then he had all these developmental leaps, and he was backed up and uncomfortable, poor little guy. And he was suddenly waking up 4 or 5, 6 times a night again. What's going on, you guys? Mommy, I have helpers, as you can see. Huh?
What are you asking about?
I'm talking about Teo. Go play with Grandma. So we definitely had a big old sleep disturbance there for, I think it was more like 2 weeks. And oh my gosh, I was thinking, I really hope this isn't a trend. I was actually about to try sleep training with him. We did that with Sophie at about 10 months, where we do like a modified cry it out, where I go to the baby and make sure they know that I'm still there, but that it's time to sleep kind of thing. He and Sophie are now sharing a room. We were originally trying to have Alex and Sophie share a room, but that just wasn't working out. They were just like getting up in the middle of the night and getting up ridiculously early and stuff because they were waking each other up. So we now actually have Teo and Sophie together in the same room, and that has been working really well. But the night that I was going to sleep train him, I put Sophie in Alex's room so that, you know, if he was fussing, it wouldn't bother her.
That's my favorite part.
Did you talking about Sophie, is that your favorite part?
Yeah.
Goofball. Anyway, but then that night, he just like went back. He woke up once that night. He was through all of his developmental leaps and his little backed up problem was solved, and he just like went back to sleeping again. So there was like 1 or 2 nights, maybe 3 nights, when he woke up once And now he's back to sleeping all the way through the night again. So that was clearly the problem, and I'm glad that we didn't even have to sleep train him. He just went back to doing it again, which was fabulous because I really don't like doing it if I don't have to. Grandma's going to get the frisbee. Gonna go play frisbee? Yeah. Alex, go play frisbee with Grandma. Thanks, buddy. So, I am happy to say that we are back with it with sleep. It seems like he only has sleep troubles when he has a good reason to. I'm glad that that little problem worked itself out. Every once in a while he'll still wake up like once at night when I'm still awake before I go to bed, and so it's not even that big of a deal. And when he wakes up early in the morning, I just still bring him into bed with me, and we all love having those snuggles in the early morning when he comes in at like 6:37 in the morning. And we usually sleep another hour or two at that point.
Yeah.
So he's kind of put himself on his own little nap schedule now as well. Basically 11-ish and 3-ish he takes a nap. So it's a 2-nap schedule, but it's flexible being that he's the 3rd child, and when we're out and about he'll just sleep in the car or whatever. If he misses a nap one day, he just goes to bed a little earlier that night, and he's just a flexible little guy, which is really nice. In terms of food, he is now eating solid foods. We started him the week before he turned 6 months because he was so eager. He was just like Sophie was, where he was just like tracking every single bite we would take that was going into our mouths. He was like, what is that? I want to be a part of that. Oh, do you need to nurse? And as you can see, he's still nursing really well. So we usually feed him solids like twice a day, kind of like breakfast and dinner. Occasionally we'll give him a little something at lunch too, like in his little mesh feeder thing, but for the most part it's like 2 meals a day, and he just breastfeeds on demand the rest of the time. So he's just doing really well. Clearly he's growing quite nicely still. We do a combination of purees and baby-led weaning, and I made a whole video about that when Sophie was a baby, so I will link that video here. And I also made a video about all the things that I fed Sophie from 6 to 9 months, and I will link that video here as well because we're pretty much feeding him the exact same things that we fed her. I started all of my babies on avocado, that was the first food, and then onto soft-boiled egg yolk, and then other various fruits and vegetables. We've done squash and sweet potato and pear and banana, and he loves it. He absolutely loves it. I actually have a video about how we make our own baby food, and I will put that here as well. That's, you know, packed full of good nutrition and whatnot. Avocado, we'll just give him like a whole slice to play with, and it gets everywhere, and he loves it. And we also have the little mesh feeders. I don't know if you guys have seen them. I'll link it down below because I absolutely love these ones. They have a silicone mesh instead of like a cloth mesh, so they're really easy to clean and put in the dishwasher, and I absolutely adore them. So he really likes those little feeders because we can just put pieces of whatever inside and he just gnaws on it, and he can be independent about it while, you know, I'm dealing with the other kids. It's just been a nice little combination. So that's going well, other than the fact that his system was like, whoa, when he first got solids and backed him up, like I mentioned. But things seem to be starting to regulate themselves a little bit. So he's just an extremely social little guy. He just smiles at everyone. He's just the smiliest little guy. When he's done here, I'll see if I can get him to smile for you guys, because he's just like, you look at him, he smiles. He's just such a happy baby, so happy.
Thank you. Yeah.
He is starting to get a little bit of stranger danger though. Sometimes when we're out and about and somebody talks to him, he'll like start crying. But normally that happens like when he's just woken up for a nap, or he's about to go down for a nap, like when he's really tired or kind of groggy and out of it, then he's a little more like with strangers. But when he's alert and in a good mood, then he's very friendly and he just smiles at everyone, and he is a cuddler. He's the snuggliest little baby I ever saw. He literally gives me hugs. He'll like grab my face and like give me little baby kisses and like lean in and put his head on my chest. He's just the sweetest little guy. Yeah, and he's very, very alert. He reminds me a lot of Alex as a baby like that. And, you know, I've talked about that, so we'll see how things are as he gets bigger. I think he's gonna be a smart little guy. He definitely has that like really wide-eyed alert look when he's awake. He's just very, very inquisitive and curious. Yeah, Sophie definitely had that wide-eyed look when she was a baby as well. So kind of par for the course for our little guys. Are we happy now? As you can see, just the happiest baby. He's like this all the time. He's just all smiles. All smiles. You're just the happiest little baby. Oh my gosh. He is babbling so much. It is so much fun. That's another way that he reminds me of Alex. Like, he babbles in the same kind of way that Alex did. And it just happened one afternoon. I was at Costco. He was in the cart and all of a sudden he just started going da 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 da. Yeah, there's those 2 fingers. So stay tuned for our upcoming vlog though, because I got some really, really good footage of him babbling. It's hilarious. So yeah, things are going really, really well with him. In terms of me and postpartum, things are about the same in terms of weight loss. I think I've like lost 1 pound or something like that, but I'm hoping as we get into summer and getting more active, that's often the case with me, is that I'll lose a little more weight in the summer. I think that's kind of common just because we're out and about more and I'm able to get outside and exercise more. That's kind of how that is going. I definitely am feeling the toll on my body of having 3 pregnancies now. I've always had back problems, but he's such a big baby and my 3rd baby, and I feel like with each baby my back has gotten worse, and so that's definitely something I'm still dealing with postpartum, is just carrying him around and having a lot of like core strength problems, which I'm trying to work on. I've been doing Lindsey Brin workouts, which are like postnatal workouts. That helps a little bit, and I still try to wear the belly bandit when I can. He's so happy. I love you. He's just the happiest little guy. This is how he is all the time, you guys. He's so happy. Oh my goodness. Oh, see? He just leans in and he hugs. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, so I'll keep doing those workouts, and you know, we like hiking, so hopefully we'll be doing some more hiking this summer. So that's how things are going with me. Nothing terribly big to update on there. That's about it for his 6-month update. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. You say subscribe, subscribe. Yeah. And hit the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye.